Call away, send for me. Let me show you how dumb niggas are. Alright? I actually read this article. Do y'all know this shit is a year old and they used a year old story from urbanintellectuals.com. Keep in mind, keyword, intellectuals used a story that's a year old to actually fill a void of something about the Second Amendment being altered. Okay? Now let's read what people have said, because I've actually looked up Second Amendment, armed protesters, Second Amendment. So I know if a couple of niggas have gotten a hold of something, then they actually start talking about it or whatever. As you can see here, Chris Allen, an hour ago. Now let's see the fear more. I'm assuming you meant fear mongering, but fomenting Second Amendment waving NRA come out and support these black protesters' right to open and carry. I'm assuming open and carry. All right. They call for a temporary suspension of the Second Amendment. White men look like an army. They are just exercising their Second Amendment right. I'm assuming the rest of that. Folks try to express their Second Amendment right that suddenly everyone is concerned and afraid. Where is the NRA and the Second Amendment advocates? Or does this not apply to blacks? This may be where the second blows. You can't say or do awful things to people unless they are unarmed. We should recall whatever the fuck you saying. I'm assuming he against it. But as soon as black folks do it, we need to suspend the Second Amendment. Shaking my head. Let's go look at the article for a change, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to read. By the way, before we get into this article, you do know the Second Amendment has been altered to prevent felons from carrying weapons. A felon is not strictly, exclusively dedicated to the idea of a felon being convicted of a... What the fuck is this? See, it lets you know the website is full of shit. What the fuck is... Fuck out of here. Look at this shit. I can't even fucking search the website they got. They got all type of pop-ups and shit. What the fuck just happened? Okay, let's try this again. All right. Then we're going to have a pop-up again. Let me see. Let's open it through Chrome. Maybe that's the problem. All right, here we go. We're on Chrome now. All right. Armed black protesters caused Cleveland police to call for I'm assuming temporary suspension of the Second Amendment open and carry law. As you can see, Bank Black, they got all this old FDC and all this old crazy shit. All right, let's read this. I'll get my glasses on. So I'll ask this before we even get into the story. That's not how you start off a sentence if you're writing an article, but nonetheless. If a group of armed white protesters turned up in Cleveland, I'm assuming you meant turn, not turned. Goodness, I mean, I took creative writing. That's the only thing I took, and I know better than to write it that way. That's incorrect grammar, but that's another story. Cleveland, would the police be asking for an open carry law to be temporarily revoked? What do you think? Scroll, please. The head of Cleveland's largest police union has just called on Ohio government John Kasich to temporarily restrict the state's open and carry gun laws and the Second Amendment during this week's Republican National Convention. That's the RNC, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. John Kasich, Ohio governor, has been asked by the head of Cleveland's largest police union to temporarily ban the open carry gun law during this week's Republican National Convention due to the arrival of several armed black protesters. Source: countercurrentnews.com. This call comes as members of various black, quote, open carry, unquote, and self-defense organizations, why you didn't put that in quotes, if you're going to play the game, play it right, began arriving in the city. When various, quote, gun rights, unquote, groups with predominantly pro-Republican agendas, you gotta make it political, aren't you? Agendas and predominantly Caucasian members said they planned to show up, there was no call. There was still no call from the police. Suddenly, as more and more African American armed protesters began checking into on the streets of Cleveland, the police made the call to the governor. We are sending a letter to Governor Kasich requesting assistance from him. He could very easily do some kind of executive order or something. I don't care if it's constitutional or not at this point. Stephen Loomis, president of Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association, audaciously said. Ohio police said, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'll get dry. Pause. Ohio police, like every police in every other state, are sworn to uphold not only the federal and state constitutions, but also the laws of the state they work in. This was a clear call for the police to write the laws themselves on the fly. They, quote, they can fight about it after the RNC, or they can lift it after the RNC, but I want him to absolutely outlaw an open carry in Cuyahoga County until the RNC is over. He continued. Notice how they put everything in quotes. This is how they want you to read it, but a lot of y'all didn't read it, but let's get into it. State law in Ohio allows legal firearm owners to carry their weapons in public. In fact, this is in the Ohio State Constitution itself. There's no getting around that, even by a proposed executive order. More astonishingly, this shows how little even the higher ups in the Cleveland police understand the way the law actually works, with the small exception of a so-called, quote, secure zone. You notice how they put a couple of things that they want niggas to read, and they put those in quotes? Quote, secure zone set up inside and around the Quicken Loans Arena that is in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm assuming downtown. I don't know what part of Cleveland, but I know it's where a lot of white people at. But anyway, protesters are legally allowed to walk around the city, including within its 1.7 square mile regulated, quote, event zone, unquote, with a firearm that is legal in the state. Kasich, for his part, responding to the request saying, quote, Ohio governors do not have the power to arbitrarily suspend federal and state constitutional rights or state laws as suggested. They ended with the word seriously. Okay? Now, one thing I want you to notice. Let's read the comments. It's more about the group of new Black Panthers who make a point of appearing, opposing, and threatening. All right? Oh, so now it's a problem when blacks arm themselves, blah, 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 blah. Now, what I want y'all to learn something. Take a look at this. Cleveland. Welcome to Cleveland town, everyone. Take a look at both of our buildings. July 17, 2007. All right. You see that? CNBC. Cleveland Police Union calls for weapon bans during RNC. This was last year. Chicago Tribune last year. CNN last year. You see the dates? Petitioners for guns at RNC Cleveland soared to 45,000. Los Angeles Times. You see it? 2016, 2016, 2016. You see it? You see it? You see it? Don't believe me? Let's go to the first one. CNBC. Dated 2016. Let's go to the next link. Chicago Tribune. All right. Cleveland Police Union asking governor to suspend open and carry law during GOP convention. What's the date? July 17, 2016. Let's go to the next site, the next source. Oh, it's Chicago Tribune. We already clicked that. Let's go to CNN. Cleveland Police Union asks for suspension of open and carry in wake of Baton Rouge ahead of RNC. What's the date? July 18, 2016. Let's go to the next one. Ohio.com. Update. Petitions for guns at RNC in Cleveland soared to 45,000. Secret Service says no. This is March 2016. As of Monday afternoon, 45,179 had endorsed a change.org petition to allow guns at the RNC in Cleveland, climbing more than 500 hourly up to 5,000 Friday morning. Commenters appear to be heavily anti-Republican. As of 8 p.m., petitioners numbered to 48,444. Washington Post is reporting that the Secret Service has said no to guns at the RNC. Let's go back. Cleveland Police Union leader calls for suspending. This is Los Angeles Times, okay? As you can see, let's go back. Baton Rouge Police. Okay, that's something else. This is a different article. Let's go to the right one. I don't want y'all I'm making it up. Cleveland Police Union leaders call for suspending open carry law during the GOP convention. The head of Cleveland's police union said Sunday he would ask Ohio Governor John Kasich to place a week-long stay on open and carry rights as the Republican National Convention rolls through the city after several police officers were gunned down Sunday in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's a heartbreaking day, said the union president Steve Loomis, who said the union's attorney also asking Kasich to declare a state of emergency in the city during the convention. Loomis repeatedly said he was not against the Second Amendment, but argued that the recent attacks on police in Dallas and Louisiana, as well as the likely volatile situations that will play out if groups with competing ideologies clash outside the RNC, will create situations that are too dangerous for the city's police. Y'all can read the rest of that if you want. Okay? The union has not sent a letter to Kasich as of 3 p.m. Calls to the spokesman Kasich were not immediately returned. Now I want you to ask yourself a question. Black people, I want you to ask yourself a question. Who controls this site that they will argue that this is something brand new? And they will post this as July 17, 2017. You see that name? Forest Parks. Who is Forest Parks? Okay, that's coming up something else. Urban intellectuals. Funny, isn't it? Urban intellectuals. All right, here we go. Forest Parks, Arthur at Urban Intellectuals. You got 2,000 fucking posts. Let me see. Can we get a picture? See who you are? Positive black stories and images. They're full of shit too. Can we get a picture with this? Now, who the fuck is Forrest? You see this? Come on, Urban. Okay, they got a Facebook page. Can we put a face with this name, please? Look at this. One-click access to black community. UrbanIntellectuals.com app. Y'all got any posts? Urban Intellectuals. And y'all got people that's following this shit. You can't be serious. Y'all selling shit? Come on, man. Who say you can't evolve? And Ice Cube is not a criminal. I don't think Be Real either. So they had the right to carry those guns at the time. Straight out of carriage. Yes. Anyway, where's the picture of this individual? We need to know who he is, because if you want to hide behind a fake article, be able to put your face with it. Profile picture. Look at this, a whole bunch of pictures of other shit, not people who run the site. Look at this. Look at the UI. Look at the symbol. And come on, man. Well, let me get out this shit. First of all, Twitter. Y'all got a Twitter page too, huh? Let me end this video in a second, y'all. They got 800,000 people on Facebook following them, but on Twitter they only got 3,000 followers. Really? Can't be serious. Look at this. I'm half black from the ways I disrespect black women. What did y'all have to say about that? I made a couple videos about that. Hope his jaw gets broken so we don't hear him speak. Is that it? I know who that is. That Deneen. Oh, that's Deneen. I know you. Deneen Soul. I know you. She's pro-black now, unfortunately. But it's funny you said that. Why you hadn't said anything bad? Like, is that it? You just hope he get his jaw broken? That's it? And she the only one replied. Man, y'all can't be serious. Black people, y'all don't research a goddamn thing. Y'all got one website saying some shit happened recently and it didn't, which is the credibility of their whole entire conglomerate website is bullshit. Research. But that's what niggas don't do. They don't read. They scan. They be like, oh, no, they're not going to ban the Second Amendment. And people had actually petitioned to not have anything, and they wanted to be able to carry their weapons. Because it was at the height of what happened last year, which was police being shot. But all of that shit is a hoax. Everything is, pretty much all that shit is a hoax. Y'all being played. And all the websites like Urban Intellectuals, who are so intellectual that they are willing to fool y'all because niggas are that gullible. Man, I'm out.